Kind of looked like a Viking. No, okay, let's start over. So a lot of people ask me why I moved to the US, especially when they learn that I'm Italian. Um, I moved to the US around 2016, 2017. It's been almost 8 years now, more or less. It's a little more complicated than that. Uh, since, as you might know, the immigration process is not as quick. So, but yeah, let's start from the beginning. So, I am a pharmacist and I studied pharmacy in Italy. And right before graduating, I have taken the opportunity to move to Sweden for 6 months to work on my thesis at the university. So while working in the lab at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, in Stockholm, um, I was in a neuroscience lab, and my tutor, Deb, super cool lady, just slightly older than me at the time. I was, let's see, 25 at that point. And she's really into working out, going to the gym, and she tells me, okay, there is this race coming up in April, and this is about January when she's telling me. In May, actually, the race is in May. It's called the Tough Viking Race. So it's like a Spartan, or what would be the equivalent in the US, the Tough Mudder, where you have like obstacles and you run, I don't know, 8Ks, 10Ks. I guess it depends on the race. But anyway, she invites me to train with her, to work out with her, and to do it together. And there's other people doing this race too. Okay, so I decide to join, and I decide to, of course, start working out with her, which is a great opportunity also because I don't know anyone at this point. I just moved to Sweden, and I'm eager to make new friends. So the first time I joined the group workout, apparently it's like a bunch of different people from different labs in the same university, in the same institute, joining going to the gym and work out together. Um, the first day I go to the gym, I I meet this guy that, you know, whatever. I'm not too impressed or anything. Quite neutral. Um, Pre-jacked, big muscles, long hair pulled up in a bun. Kind of looked like a Viking. And his name is Philip, and he is American. I know you know where this is going. So yeah, I start joining these workouts, and time goes by and I no longer see Philip. He's not even in the back of my head. I forget about him, and whatever. I keep joining the gym with Deb and my new friends. We're working out, we're getting stronger, we're motivating each other to get stronger and just have fun at the gym. I would say about 1 month later, I go to the gym, and uh, and all of a sudden, Philip is back. But little did I know that Philip, in that month and a half where I hadn't seen him at all, had gone back to the US to interview for med school in the US. And so he came back, and his hair was shorter, and his look was different, and he looked, I guess, more like my type. And yeah, that was love at first sight for me. For me. What happens next is that I am the shyest person on earth when it comes to conveying my feelings to a person that I like. especially if I like them. So even the little things, whatever I thought were huge moves towards him, in hindsight, probably very minimal signs on my side, on my part. Um, so yeah, weeks go by. He joins the gym every now and then. He doesn't really come all that often. And when I see him, I'm probably too shy to even talk to him. But then I kind of invited him a few times to join a running club on Saturday mornings where we would like run 5, 10 Ks and then have brunch together. And then we would sometimes walk together from the brunch place back home, but just we would barely talk. Also, it was really um also another thing I found out much later is that Deb, the girl, the tutor that invited me to join the workout, the gym, is gay. So when she introduced me to the group on their messaging um, group, on their whatever chat, she introduced me as a special person. I'm gonna bring a special person to work out today, to the gym today. So I found out much later that Phil thought I was Deb's girlfriend when I joined the gym. So that obviously didn't make it any easier. I just kind of try to forget at some point my or ignore my feelings for Philip because I just see that it's not going anywhere and that all my efforts are not just they're just useless. So at some point I'm just so frustrated and I'm like, whatever, it's just not gonna work out. And we're probably not even compatible because again, when we are together, we barely talk as if we don't have much to say to each other. And he doesn't show any interest in me anyway. So uh fast forward, um it's May. I believe it's May 10th when the race took place. And the race was a lot of fun. They divided us in groups, so I thought I was gonna perform and race together with a whole group, but of friends. But turns out that I was put in a smaller group with Phil and Domenico, another Italian guy. So it's the three of us, and all of our other friends are in this bigger group together. But anyway, it was fun. We kind of helped each other out. We would again support each other and help each other overcome some of the obstacles, like climbing walls and stuff. So I even remember Phil like pushing me up, like pushing my, you know, pushing me up over a wall. But at that point, I wasn't even caring much that he was touching me all over. But that happened. So yeah, that night we went out and celebrated. Oops, probably shouldn't touch the microphone. That night we went out and celebrated, and I think I don't know if it was the euphoria of the adrenaline, the endorphins, post race. But yeah, I guess someone told Philip that I was interested in him, and someone told me that he was interested in me, which took me by surprise and came really out of the blue because he didn't show any sign whatsoever. And yeah, that night we, I guess, yeah, got together, and that is it. So basically, we spent until June together. So May, yeah, basically another month or two together before I went back to Italy and graduated. then I went back to Sweden because Phil was still in Sweden. So we spent another 6 months together in Sweden, where I just picked up another job in a lab. This time, instead of being neuroscience, it was what was it? Immunology, and it was all good. Well, was nice. We actually lived together in the smallest little room. It was like just a tiny room that had space for a bed, a small bed, and a small kitchen. Just that was a pretty interesting test for our relationship. We were able to spend 6 months when we barely knew each other still together in a very tiny room. Then the following year, Phil gets approved or invited for or a position into med school in the US. So I'm having this idyllic relationship in Sweden with my American boyfriend, and all of a sudden I feel like my dream relationship is being taken away from me because I guess I never thought about it before. Like, I had never thought about moving to the US. I don't think I was interested in moving to the US until he got that email. And then I just felt so crushed. I remember I was crying and crying because I thought, all right, this is the end of our relationship. And but then at the same time, I was telling him, these are happy tears. I'm happy. I'm like crying because you got in and I'm really happy for you. And I was really convinced that he was buying that. But he told me that no, he knew I was sad. But yeah, what happened is I moved to the US because of love, I suppose. That is it. I don't know. I always feel a little weird when I say I moved for love. But yeah, kind of romantic in a way. So yeah, so it was in 2016 at that point when I actually moved, or not really moved, but when I went to the US with him for the first time. He grew up, he comes from Minnesota. So I went to Minnesota, which, to be honest, as an Italian, I did not know where it was. And I admit, I thought it was some state up north in the middle of nowhere with just cornfields all over, which is not true. I'm very protective of Minnesota today. But yeah, I moved. I went to the US in 2016, and that's when it all started. The nightmare. Do I regret it? I'm kidding. It had a lot of tough moments, but also quite a few good moments. I will definitely tell you more about me moving to the US as an Italian and the whole process of going through the immigration system as a non-American, as a European, what it means to apply for a work permit and for a green card and trying to apply for a job, more about what happened next in my next video.